Hi, so good evening to all. This is the second interview with an artist by Kochi Art Now in the year 2021. And this time, we have a celebrity artist with us, Fatima Hakim. So, before we start this program, I just want to say a few words. Kochi Art Now has launched a new website for upcoming artists to upload their artworks, exhibit their artwork, and to promote their sales. So check out Kochi Art Now at store website, and you can DM us for any queries regarding the site and our new platform. So welcome all to our program, and this is an artist interview with Fatima Hakim. So without much ado, let us invite her to our platform. Oh,
Hi. Can you hear me?
എല്ലാം കേൾക്കുന്നു ഓക്കെ അല്ലേ?
I think it's audible. Is it audible for you?
Yeah, it's nice. Okay. Hi Fatima, it's like such a pleasure to you're coming to our site and doing this interview with us. It's such a big thing for our site. So yeah, welcome. First of all, on behalf of Kochi Art Now and myself, I welcome you to the small art session. So the first thing is that it is a purely art-based session. Like we are going to core topics. How does she do it? Like how does she come up with these ideas? What are the things that she uses and everything? So let's start the session. First, I think we'll have some few words. Just tell about yourself, like in a very few words about yourself. Just
Okay. I'm Fatima Hakim. I recently gathered the courage to call myself an artist, so I'm an artist. I studied architecture, but once I finished architecture, I understood that it's not what I want to do. So I jumped into the thing that I do best, and then
okay.
yeah, I'm self-taught, so I will not be able to use a lot of technical terms with you because honestly, I don't know.
Okay,
But
okay.
the little things that I've learned, I would like to share it with people because I never had a person to tell me stuff while I was growing up. So
Okay.
I think it's my duty to share the knowledge that I have with people. Yeah, I think there's a connection problem. Yeah.
Just 1 second. 1 second. Wait, wait. No, Wi-Fi on. Let me phone it. Uh, yeah, I
Can you?
think we look similar. Can you get me now?
Vishnu?
Hello?
Yeah, Rishmi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. My video is clear.
Yeah, it does. It is. Yeah.
Okay, Sherry. Thank you. So, without much ado, I'll go straight to the questions. Okay. So, we all know that you do different types of artworks. You do wall paintings, and you do finger paintings, hand drawings, and then you do canvas, digital art. So, we'll just
Rishmi, I think there's something wrong with your network.
with my connection. Is it my connection?
Yeah, yeah.
1 second. Kunyu, you are. Oh, just 1 second, okay? Just 1 second.
That's a bit too much.
Okay, it's bad. Can you like you can hear me, right? Your video is
I can
actually
hear you.
clear. I'll just maybe
I think my video
recharge
is.
mine.
Guys, can you hear me? Is my video clear? What's happening? Can you guys? Is it audible?
Whose video stuck? My video stuck.
It's okay now. Yeah, it's okay now.
We've been full.
It's clear. Both
Anyway,
videos
both
are
videos are
clear.
clear. Okay. So I'll just go
Yeah,
to the
yeah, it is
question,
clear.
and by the time I fix
Audible.
my Wi-Fi, you can just answer it. Okay, it's a very, very simple question because I can see the wall behind you, and it's an art piece behind you. So my question is, you go into a room, and then your client
Yeah.
says, "Okay, do wall painting here," or you feel like I have to do a wall painting here. So how do you decide what to do? Like you need blue flowers or you need oranges or you need that green leaves that you have drawn. So how do you decide? I mean, what to draw on a wall?
So
What are the factors that make
before I
you
start the work, yeah. So before I start the work, I take a history of
okay?
my clients. I talk to them. I build a rapport with them. I understand what kind of people they are. Some people, they
Okay.
are sunset people. Some people are sunrise people. Some people are very much into leaves. Some people like flowers more. So I understand what kind of people they are. And once I do that, I come up with few options
Okay.
that they like. So I think every
Okay.
person, every character has certain colors that they like. So it's mostly I
Okay.
have conversations with them and I understand what they like the most and I try to put all those things together. If you see this wall behind me, I am a fan of oranges and tropical leaves. So I wanted to have
Uh-huh.
a good feeling in my room. Also, this is the wall that this is where I sit when I talk to my clients. So this is
Okay.
also a little psychological thing that when people see green, they calm down. So I've put green
Yes.
so
It's
that
it's
my
very
clients
nice.
don't
It's
get.
very pretty.
Yeah. So I think every art that I make is very personal, especially if that's for my clients. It has to be very personal. I get to know them. I get to know their colors, what they like, and I try to put it all together to make a piece of art.
Okay. Okay. So it's a process of knowing your client also, like how what they like, and then imparting your own creativity into that, so to the wall.
Because
So
otherwise you
and
can go to the supermarket and buy anything that you want. Art is very personalized. It's a very personal, it's a very special thing. So
yes, it
if
is.
you're making art for a person, it has to be something like that.
Yes. So wall arts are also very big, like they're huge. So what are the equipments that you use to create this wall art? What are the things you require to do this wall art?
So it also depends on the client's budget. If the client has a good budget, I paint the whole thing in acrylic paints. I use the acrylic
Acrylic.
tube. Yeah, and acrylic paints in tubes, they are very expensive. Otherwise, I
Okay.
use emulsion paints and acrylic.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
blend of. So I go and I make the colors on my own, getting the stainer, or I go to the shop and ask them, these are the colors that I want. So before the wallet, I fix on what to do, what colors that it has to go. I make the sketch and then I paint it. And once I'm done with that, I do a varnish or a fixer
Okay.
on top of the painting so that it doesn't peel off. So it differs for external wall art and for internal wall art. For the ones that you
Oh,
do inside,
okay.
you don't have to do any coating or something because it's not exposed to rain or anything or harsh climates.
Oh,
If it's outside, you have to uh, put some other coating so that it doesn't come out.
oh, okay, okay. So what I understand is when you're doing an outside wall and an inside wall, they are totally different in lighting, in perspective, and the materials that you use, right?
Yeah, mostly because emulsion and everything they'll stay for a longer time because that is
Okay.
made for exterior walls. But
Okay.
and also you have to understand if that wall gets a lot of sunlight, or if that
Oh,
is a wall that a lot of rain hits. You need to understand that and
okay.
treat the wall properly. Otherwise, the paint is going to come out
Okay.
or fade
Okay.
or something. Yeah.
So, how long does it take? You meet a client and then you talk to them and to the completion of your project, of your art. How long does it take to do a wall art in a normal setting?
I work like a machine sometimes. When I'm in that zone, I don't stop. I don't eat. I don't do anything. I don't lay down. I don't take rest because it's sort of a
Mhm.
process. It's like giving birth to something. It's like I'm in labor and I go all anxious and all in. So this one I took like 1.5 hours to finish, and
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, I can
nice.
paint really fast. So if it's a
Okay.
huge wallet, I take up to like 3, 4 days, 5 days. But I don't advise it to people because usually when I take so much effort and when I paint like that, for the next few days I can't do anything. My mind is like blocked because I
Okay.
put all my energy. So these days I'm learning to chill. Um,
Okay.
I'm learning to like slow down and like calmly do my stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hi,
So,
Arti. There's a lot of people I love. They're all here.
uh,
Hi,
so
Arman. Yeah.
that, eh, as I understand, it's not art is not like you cannot time bound it. Like you can't say that okay, I can do it in like 10 days or I can do it in 2 days. It all depends on what the sketches you create and the perspective that you like. Is it like that? I mean, the time period is
I
not
think
really
that is
fixed.
what like very authentic artists do. But for me, when I see a wall, I don't know how many Malayalis are here. When I see a wall, it's like I'm like, oh God, I have to do something. I cannot stand to see plain walls in front of me. And I tell the client, like, you know what, let's start it tomorrow. Let's finish it within 2 days. I get too excited about it. So
Okay.
mostly when I get the work, I'm like, when can we start? I am the one who's more excited than my client. So I just get all my
Right.
paints, go
Okay.
there, finish it off. So I don't take a lot of time to finish off my works because after I do that, I have to jump on to the next painting. So,
Next project, okay.
and like,
So I've seen some of your wall arts on your Instagram page, and do you have any personal favorites in your wall arts in all the works
I
that
think
in
my
the wall
personal
art? So,
one I am yet to create.
the one behind you, I mean, is it that your personal favorite thing?
No, the one that I'm yet to create. I
Oh,
haven't
nice.
created it yet.
Yes, the
I'll do my best.
masterpiece is
That's
just
why I have
coming
to say that.
out.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice. That's nice. So that's a few things about wall art, and I think I'll go to the next topic, that is hand paintings and finger drawings and all that. So when you're doing a wall art, I've seen the reels and all that. You do an outline first and then you go with the colors and then you complete it. But when you're doing a hand painting, I mean, do you have an outline in your mind? In your exhibition in Aurora, you had a huge canvas with a hand drawn, hand painted picture. Amazing artwork. So how do you do that? There is no outline, and does it just come out of you, or you have an outline in your mind? So how does
So
that work?
during that series, that was a crazy series because I was going through a very intense time of my life, like very intense, and that time was a turning point as to if I want to be, if I want to lead a very convenient, easy life or take the hard route and become the artist that I always wanted, which is the hard route. So that time I
Okay.
realized I want to take the second one. And then I went and bought a lot of canvas and a lot of paints, and I honestly had no idea what I was going to paint. So I
Okay.
had this canvas that was 3 meter, it was not 3 meter, I think it was 5 meter long, and it was 2 meter or 1.8, 2 meter high. So
Oh,
I just panned it down in my car porch, and I took a lot of paints in my hand. I squeezed it throughout the canvas and I started walking here and there. I walked for like
yeah.
more than 45 minutes, up and down, up and down, up and down. And after I walked so much and I sat down, my footprints made the texture for the background of the painting. Like
Oh,
it was all my footprint. And that texture was so good because I had never even tried that. And then that was a lot of orange and Prussian blues and very bright violet and cobalt blue. And when I saw that background, I'm like, I want to draw a bridge and have a little girl hold a lantern, and walk through that bridge. That was what popped in my head. So I
okay.
put huge swirling suns here and there, and I drew that bridge and the little girl with the lantern, and that painting was done. So those days, I used to go all wild with my colors and with my ideas. These days, I can't do that, unfortunately. That was a time when I was fearless. So I used to just
Okay.
put a lot of colors here and there and just play with it. And when I just go wild with it, something or the other comes out, a swirl,
Okay.
or something comes out, and that gives me an idea. I'm like, this could work there. So
Oh.
that whole series was like that.
I think your video voice is breaking a bit. Is it yours or mine?
Is
Um,
my voice breaking? I don't know. Can someone tell me if you can hear me clearly?
Now you're clear, but you know, ready? Now you're okay? I think it's clear now.
It's clear?
Yeah.
Thank you, Vijisha.
So, so I understand that unlike other conventional type of art that you do, doing a finger painting or a hand painting is much more, close to your soul, or very, very close to yourself, to your personality, or because it's coming like spontaneously it is coming to you. It's not like you are doing an outline and then you are doing it. So I think it's a seeing that video itself is like magic. It's a really nice video, and I was like, oh my god,
So
how does she do it?
when I take those paint in my hand and when I paint it like that, right, I get connected to the paint because there is touch.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
I'm touching the colors directly. So I believe even though like they're synthetic colors, I feel like every color has an energy. So when I
Mhm.
touch those colors, I feel the energy, and I just it's magical. I don't know how else to explain it. So it's such a beautiful feeling.
Yes, even the video looks very nice. Again, I have a doubt, like a technical doubt. So you're doing your hand paintings with the blue color, and then next you have to do with orange. So do you take a break and go and wash your hands and get all the paint done, and then come back to orange, or you just mix orange at that
I
spot itself?
this.
How do you do that?
Yeah, I just
Uh,
I don't have time. I don't have the patience and the time to go wash it and come back. I'm not that. I'm a very messy person in general. I look clean now because, uh, yeah, I look clean because I prepared for this. But apart from that, I'm a very messy person. So, yeah, I just do this and yeah.
so like, doesn't that mix up the colors? Just asking.
It does. But the thing with me is I do a lot of layers. So if the colors
Okay.
mix up, I take the tube directly. See, I'm not that fancy painter who takes my palette and just think and do very fancy things. I don't do that. I just squeeze it, take it in my hand, and do that. So it takes me a lot of layers and a lot of colors to reach
Okay.
what I want. But I
Okay.
love the process, man. It's just
Okay. So,
what I love about it.
um, again, I have to ask about the time factor because, as much as I understand, finger drawings are really tough, because there are a lot of toughness levels in that. There is no outline, and then colors have to mix and everything. So, how much time do you take to do a, how much time did you take to do the big one that you did in Aurora?
One day.
1 day. Okay.
Yeah,
So, do
because
you do?
uh, I I I like that flow. It's not a very healthy thing. I wouldn't suggest it to anyone else, but I like the flow. I like the fact that so when I paint, when I'm in there, I go into a state of trance that nothing else matters around me. I forget to drink, I forget to do anything at all. I'm there. I'm inside that. Like I am inside those colors. And it's like meditation. It's like I don't want to use the word drugs, but it's like meditation. It's like you
Okay.
start this. This looks like I know the way with drugs, but not really. It starts like this and it reaches a peak, and then
Okay.
it like slowly comes down. For me, art is a process like that. So in my peak is where I understand where this art is going, and till I get out of that mindset, I cannot stop painting. So yeah, that is that.
So this is my personal opinion. I saw that painting, and somehow it reminded me of Vincent Van Gogh's Starry Night. The color combinations, the way that your orange dots are there. So, do you look up to some? Are there any artists that you look up to, like a Renaissance artist or other artists that you
Vincent Van
feel
Gogh
like?
was alive today, I would sell everything that I have. I would borrow money. He's just he's someone I adore so much, not just for his art style, for the person that he was, for the craziness that he had, and
Yes,
he's
yes.
kind of the only artist I can relate to. Like I feel like he's more like me. Uh, the mental health issues, the crazy things that he did, and
Yes.
guts that he had. So Van Gogh, when he was painting at a time of realism, and surrealism was just starting to happen. But
Yes.
he just he just went with his style. He was very confident with his style, and it didn't really matter that it was not getting sold off or anything. He just went crazy. He believed in himself and his art, and for me, that
Yes.
is a very beautiful thing
Okay.
about.
So, other than Van Gogh, is there any other artist that you really look up to, like anybody else?
I love Frida. I love the passion that she has. I am fascinated by Da Vinci. I am
Oh,
fascinated by him because I can't believe he was a real human being. I think he was an alien disguised as a human being because he used to sleep only for 4 hours,
okay.
and he used to take 20-minute naps throughout the
Oh,
day, not sleep like a normal person. And his mind was crazy because in his sketchbooks you can see the anatomy of a tongue of a woodpecker. Who
oh,
would think to learn about the anatomy of a woodpecker? That is not the time when there was internet or you had pictures or anything. So he actually found a woodpecker and studied its tongue, and he was brilliant in his mind. So
yes.
that really fascinates me. Monet makes me feel very romantic. So there's a lot of artists. I look up to a lot of artists. Yeah.
Yes, I think there is some. When I saw your paintings, I felt like there is something, Van Gogh in it, and that color combination, the way you draw your lines and everything, especially in your finger paintings. When you come to digital, I think you cannot be that much. There is always a technical barrier, but when you're
There is
in,
a so see. I think with digital painting, magic doesn't happen. Unexpected splash of colors or magic doesn't happen. When I'm painting with my hands or on a canvas, there are chances where the paint just spills and it forms a blotch. And I'm like, okay,
oh,
how do I cover that up? And I get another idea to cover that up, and
oh, oh,
that takes a new turn for my painting. But
oh,
that doesn't happen with digital art.
okay,
Digital art is more like it's a very scripted thing,
okay,
and canvas
yeah.
is not.
So yeah, that's I think a summary of your finger paintings and hand paintings. Again, I'm asking, do you have any personal favorites, and do you feel that this one is very close to my heart? This finger painting
I
that I
think
did.
that one is yet to create. I think I'm yet to create that one. Yeah.
So I think I'll just not ask this question anymore. Your masterpiece in every form of art is it's gonna come.
Is yet to come. Yeah.
So do you do finger paintings these days? I mean, I think for some time you're not doing it. I didn't see much.
Uh, I generally make less art these days. Uh,
Okay.
I used to paint every day. I used to paint like twice a day. I used to practice sketch. My days were all about art. But um, I recently lost my father. 5 months back, and things have been really, really different since then. I'm not able to make a lot of art like I want to, and I'm giving myself time to grieve, heal, uh, and usually before it was Fatima as an artist first and then a human being. And these days it's Fatima as a human being first and then an artist. So I'm taking a lot of time for myself. I'm not doing a lot of pieces or anything. I'm not painting much. I'm trying to uh, heal these days.
But we, as art lovers, we would love to see some more hand painting stuff from you. I mean, get some canvas and do that stuff. I think of all the things and all the videos that I saw, I think the most magical one was the one that you did with your hands. And it just felt so surreal. I think that is the word. It felt so surreal. That colors, and then finally the canvas came and like, oh, wow, like that. So yeah, do some more. Okay, it will be really
I will.
nice for
I
us.
will.
So I think we'll go to the next level of questions, that is about canvas painting, acrylic, watercolor, etc. So lots of people, lots of artists who used to do canvas paintings, those who used to do watercolor and acrylic, they have switched to digital platform. Lots of artists have switched to digital platform. And why do you think this change is happening in this art field?
Speaking for myself, paints are very expensive. Canvas is very expensive. And it's kind of hard for you to carry these when you. So I travel all the time, so it's kind of hard to
Okay.
take them and travel. Also,
Okay.
there's limitless colors in with digital painting. So if I'm like making my traditional painting, and if my tube of red is over, I have to rush to the shop, get it, come back.
Oh,
But with digital, there's no limit. It's kind of
okay.
limitless and
So, what do you like? Acrylic, watercolor, gouache? I mean, what painting
I
which do
like
you?
acrylic because again, me being a very impatient person, acrylic dries really fast. So I like acrylic and gouache too because of its thickness and opacity.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, do you think this canvas painting is getting outdated, slowly going out of the
No,
industry?
it is always going to stay because it has so much authenticity. Like you can see when an artist paint, literally their sweat is there and
Uh-huh.
fingerprint. Like
Okay.
it's there. So their fingerprints are there, their handprints are there. It's they have been there. They have been a part of it. Their DNA is all over the painting. You want to recreate someday when technology advances as an alien, you can recreate it. So that is what I love about canvas paintings, although it's totally out of context. But yeah, the artist leaves a piece of them, a part of them in real.
Okay.
So that is
Okay.
it's so I think if I get a piece of an artist which is like hand drawn by them, I just probably smell it.
Actually, I
That's
have an
just
interesting comment right now. Somebody said that oil paint, Pavam oil paint, Arkamanda. So, have you tried oil paint? Just say a few
I
words
have.
to.
I have. It takes about 3 days to dry, dude. I can't wait. And yes, yeah, it's very costly too, Kevin. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
actually very. Yeah. So, so, so I paint in layers, right? So I think it will take me a month to create all these layers that I've been doing in oil color. But oil
Okay.
color is very convenient because you can make as much as changes you want.
Okay.
So and it stays for long. The color stays for long. That's why all the masters they did their works in oil because it stays for like a really long time.
That's and one more question. Do you think that canvas painting is becoming less lucrative in as in business when it comes to making money?
No, I think it's always going to stay. It's okay. The difference being a home cooked meal and a McD or a KFC.
Okay.
Yeah, that I think that is the right metaphor I can use. So I love home cooking.
Okay. So that's a bit about canvas painting. I think we'll go to the new array or the new foray that she's in, and the one which she gained so much popularity, that is the digital art. First of all, the most, I mean, the question that everyone wants to ask is what app are you are using, and you have to say some pros and cons about this app. Okay.
Okay, so this is my gadget.
Okay.
It's an
It's
iPad
an
Pro.
iPad mini.
Yeah, it's an iPad Pro 2018 model. It's
Okay.
an
Okay.
old one. And the app that I use is this one, Procreate.
Procreate. Okay. Okay.
And Procreate is an amazing software because it has amazing brushes and a lot of shortcuts and this and that and everything. I think the only problem that I face with Procreate is that you cannot really choose if you want to paint in RGB or CMYK.
I did not
Everything
get it.
it is RGB or CMYK, that is the out that you take.
Oh, okay, okay.
That is the only thing that I find that is not really working for me in Procreate, but the rest of it is amazing. I love the software. I love it. It's really good.
Okay. No, that's like just one pros and one cons. I think I'll ask for like five pros and five cons, something like that.
No, I want Procreate to like collaborate with me sometime, so I'm not going to say the cons.
Can you just, your mic is just little off, I guess.
Can you
So
hear me now?
yeah, your mic is a bit, I just a little less clear. Okay.
Better?
No, now your sound is not very clear.
It's better now?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, okay, yeah.
So, are there paid brushes or they are free
The
brushes?
ones that, so there's a lot of default brushes in Procreate that you can use. There's like amazing brushes, but I like to experiment with brushes. So I use other brushes too. Those are like paid brushes, but it's not very expensive. It's like $18 or $20 or something like that.
Dollars. So,
I think those artists, they earned it. I mean, it takes effort to make brushes, so I want to support them too. So yeah.
okay, that's like okay. And coming to your digital works, I mean, something that I found is how you position light in your works. Okay, so for example, I'll take that picture that is the railway station picture is there, morning light in the railway station. And the way that light comes live in your digital arts, I mean, all the arts, there is a sometimes it's dark, but then there are streaks of light coming from here and there, and sometimes it's like full bright colors. So, how do you play with light in your digital arts?
Mostly for my works, I'll have an idea about what kind of lighting is going to happen there. So if it's a backlighting, if it's a backlighting, the light is from the back and maybe it'll hit strands of hair, and
Oh,
the color of your hair changes depending on what color hair you have. If you have like golden hair, it is going to turn white. If you have brown hair, your hair is going to turn brown, orange. So I decide if I want a backlighting. So if you give a backlighting, the character is going to be very bright. The character is
oh,
going to stand out. And if you have a front lighting, your background is going to be dark, but your face is going to be very bright. For a
okay,
backlighting, your face is going to be a little darker, but it's also called as a rim light. Like you have a light that goes like this. So during golden hour, if the sun is behind you, you can actually see the rim light, that orange
okay,
light that goes. Also, I think a mistake that I used to make is when I used to do this golden light thing, I used to line it in just one golden color, but that's so wrong. When that light touches your skin, it is one color. It touches your clothes, that is another color.
oh, okay,
So I think it takes a lot of observation for you to practice lighting. Then there is ambient lighting. So like a few days back, I was in Varkala. I was watching the sunset, and it was so beautiful. the whole sky, everything was warm. Everything was warm, but the waves were blue. And I was wondering where this blue was happening. So this blue was coming from the reflection from the sky. So
Oh,
imagine if the sky was like this part of the sky was orange and this was blue. So this blue was getting reflected in the white of the waves and in the white
oh,
of the clothes of the people who were standing there, and it made it blue. So lighting, I don't think, I think it takes a whole lifetime to learn about things like that. So I'm constantly observing. So even if you look at me right now, I have some light here.
okay.
So the way it's hitting my face, where it makes the shadow, how it reflects on my glasses. So these you have to go into little details to recreate it in your work. So that is something I love doing. I observe a lot.
Oh, this is yeah.
Thank you, Junaida.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, too much. I mean, did somebody teach you this, or did you learn it yourself? You observed and then you made mistakes and then you learned.
I think if someone taught me, that would have been a restriction. Since I know nothing about it, I just go all in and study it. And I want to make my art better every day. I just want to see. There's nothing else I would do. You give me like so much money, or you give me all the luxuries in life, and like tell me to live the life. I wouldn't. If I have to starve as an artist, I'll better starve as an artist, because the feeling that it gives, the happiness that it gives, I live for that. It's such a beautiful way to live.
I think this passion that you show to your art, your work, I mean, that stands out with every single piece that you have done. And the way that you talked about light, and I was like, how do you understand what to do with one thing that you actually see and you're like, okay, this light is falling like that, and this and totally another thing to actually imply it on your work. Two different things. I mean, and the way you incorporate it, especially that railway station picture was like so good. I mean, we have all seen it, we have all been there, but to actually create it as an art piece, I think that's another level of
Because
your.
when I was stepping, I was really sleepy, and it was like the morning time. I stepped out of the train and I saw it. I was like, holy shit, wow. I was just staring at it, and I'm not a person who takes pictures in public. I just feel very weird about it. But then I sneaked my phone. I'm like, I just clicked a few pictures to learn the lighting, and then I created that piece.
Okay, it's really nice. Same way in your digital arts, when you look, you use different colors. I mean, your pictures are very vivid, if that is a word. There is like variant colors that are coming out. I know it's an app, and then you can use these colors. That are like you have unlimited options with colors, but to actually bring it into an art piece, how do you do it? I like blue. There's different shades of blue, and how do you do your skies and backgrounds and your yellows? How do you select the colors?
Uh, Sometimes I'll have references for the colors. It could be a photograph. I see a photograph, and I'm like, I want these colors for my art. But mostly I just experiment with it. I play with it. Initially it'll be just a blue painting, then I'm like, no, 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 I need red in it. Maybe with the red comes orange and purple. So I just put in unconventional colors, and I'm uh yeah, yeah.
Again, you're a children's book illustrator. So when you're illustrating a book, I mean, the same face should come in different angles and different pages. How do you do it? And what do you do with that?
So my author and I had a very long conversation regarding that like 2 days back, because as I make each illustrations for each pages,
Okay.
I'm getting better, or my style is changing every time.
Oh,
So
okay.
every time I bring some changes to the character, and it was very hard for me to just stick with one character. So what I do is, if people listening right now, if you guys are into character design, pay some attention. I know you guys are very patient, so I'm just saying that. So what I do is, I come up with the character. I try to understand the race of the character, where that character is coming from, the father, the mother, their grandparents, which country they are from, what race they are from. I try to understand all that. And then I create them. So Asians have different kind of eyes, Africans have different kind of eyes, Indians have different kind of eyes. So once I understand the facial features, I'll start playing around with it. So you see my face, right? If my eyes were wider apart, I would be a totally different person. If my eyebrows were thicker, I would look very different. If the position of my nose is different, I look different. Same with the lips. If my upper lip was thicker, I'll look like a different person. So there's endless possibilities for you to create a character. And for the face to stay like that, I'll go through the manuscript and understand that what all angles the face is going to be, what all expressions the character is going to have. And once that is set, I'll draw them in different angles. I'll have the main face. I think I'll just show you because
Yeah,
I'm not
sure.
supposed to post it because there's copyright issues. But I think I can just show you few characters that I've been working on. Yeah. So I make something like this. So this is a book I'm working on. There's like 4 characters there. So I write down their characteristics, how they are, the personality and everything. And I do this. And another thing after that, I draw them in different angles, like a straight face, and then there'll be a face that's inclined towards the right, from the side profile, from the back, from like a top angle, from a bottom angle. I'll just draw the faces, and I'll work with the basic expressions. So the thing with expression is, it's mostly about your eyebrows and the curve of your lips.
Okay.
So if I'm like really surprised, my eyebrows goes like this and my eyes will pop up and my lips will have a different shape.
Okay.
And if I'm smiling, my eyes squint, my eyebrows come down.
Oh, okay.
So I use references. I use my own face to just create the same expression that the character is having, and I observe what changes my face has. So maybe it is in one instance that the character is really surprised and they're like, and the way the eyebrows go, the eyes they enlarge, the iris they might pop up or like come to the center or something like that. So I use myself as a reference a lot because since you're working on a book, you don't have a lot of reference sometimes. So my whole family members and my friends, they're all my references. I use them as my models.
So I understand that it is much like if you have like 5 characters and then you need to do this with every character. Every character will require multiple sketches with multiple
Yep.
emotions, and then you read the story and then you have to incorporate it. So
Yeah.
it's work.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. But then at the end of the day, when the work is done, you have a book. You
Yeah,
have a book that is done by you. And
that's
I think I really can't wait for these books. So I'm working on 3 books right now and a personal book of mine. So these are all international publications.
oh nice.
And
Is
on
there
the front
anything
page,
already published that we can get it and
yeah,
we can
so on
promote
the
it
front page,
like
it's
that?
like written by this person, illustrated by Fatma Hakim. I'm like, I
That's so sweet.
cried the day my author told me like, hey, put your name on the front page. I was like, are you sure? They're like, yeah, I'm sure. I was like, okay.
That's so sweet. But then
Yeah.
that much effort, you're definitely putting that much effort into it, or else
Hmm.
I think
Because there's a lot of illustrations, and in every scene the light is going to be different. They're going to be wearing different colors. So for this book, I have a scene where they're playing in snow, and then I have a scene where they're playing in the rain. So we as Malayalis, since I'm a Malayali, I don't know what they wear. I don't know where they go to play in the rain. So I have to do a research on that. I have to do a research on the clothes and everything. So it's a hell lot of work,
yes,
but
it
worth
is.
it.
Yes, I think your creativity and your passion, it comes together, and then you put in a lot of research and work, and then product when it comes out, it's a culmination of all these factors that you have done, and including
Yeah.
your observations, your personal observations in that.
Yeah.
again, I have one question that I usually ask. How was your transition from canvas to digital? How hard was it, or how easy was it? What all things helped you in that
I just
transition?
had to make some money to buy an iPad.
Yeah, that.
That that was the only transition that it took. Also, also pay the EMIs. Other than that, I was pretty quick to catch up on. It was not that hard for me. I
Okay.
don't know.
So
Yeah.
any tip to for the new people who are who are switching from canvas to digital? Do you have any tips for them? How to
I think it's hard, but treat it like a paper.
okay.
And
Anything
also
to like
believe that whatever you do is authentic. It's nothing like digital painting is not authentic. അങ്ങനൊന്നുമില്ല. Anything that you do is authentic. So believe that, consider this to be a paper and just make the maximum out of it.
okay. Okay, thank you. So that's all about much about digital arts. Now we'll have some questions on exhibition. So my first question is, I myself was from Calicut, and you did your first exhibition in Calicut, and
Yeah.
when are you coming back to Calicut to do the next exhibition?
I don't know. You guys invite me. I mean,
Just
I
draw
don't
some
know.
paintings and come to Calicut and do an exhibition.
So hosting an exhibition is a lot of work, man. Like creating a whole series, and if I'm doing it, I want to make it the best.
Okay.
So I don't think I have the energy in me to do an exhibition anytime soon. Like I said,
Oh,
I'm taking my time and everything, but inshallah,
yes.
sometime soon. Yeah, inshallah.
That's how. So, how do you come up with your names for exhibition? So both exhibition has really nice names. So, I mean, the name and you get other people to come and involve. Like Shahbaz Aman came to your Kochi exhibition. So, um, I,
I think
the
people have
world.
been really, really kind to me. I think the world has been kind to me when when I actually started being very passionate and very serious about my art. So uh, during one of my exhibitions, I just got the number of Rajiv Ravi sir. So I just called him up. I was very young. I just called him up. I'm like, sir, I'm doing an exhibition. Can you come in and inaugurate it? He's like, Illa Mole, I don't have time for that. You know what? I think Geetu will be interested. You call Geetu. And I called Geetu Chichi. And I was like, Geetu Chichi, I'm doing an exhibition. Can you come and inaugurate it? She's like, why not? I'll be there. I was like, wow, that's so easy. That's so nice. And same with Shahbaz Ka. Like I just called him up, like, I'm doing an exhibition. Would you like to come and inaugurate? He's like, yeah. So he was staying in Malappuram that time. My exhibition was happening in Calicut. He came
Okay.
all the way. I didn't have a penny to pay him or anything at all. He just came.
Oh,
He was there at time. He
oh,
was just there.
that's,
So I think people have been really, really, really kind to me uh, throughout my growth to help me out. So I'm very grateful, very thankful.
yes, it is. It is. I mean, the music was also really good. I mean, it
Thank you.
really lightened up, or not lightened up, it enlightened the atmosphere, I think. Not just
Yeah,
lighten
that
up.
day. Oh, he's a wonderful musician.
Yes.
I just melt when I see other people's talent. When people sing, I'll be on the floor. I'm like looking at them with puppy eyes.
Um, so, another note, now you are an established artist and you have lots of people know you. You're kind of a celebrity, or else you are a celebrity. You have come in lots of TV shows also. So, at any point, have you thought of teaching art? Now that we talked about light and colors and all
Hmm.
these techniques, have you ever felt like I can impart this knowledge or this what I know to younger generations or those who are willing to learn?
I have done more than 30 plus workshops all around India, and I have been taking few online workshops, not a lot, but yeah, I have conducted a lot of workshops to teach what I know. Also, I post my time lapse so that people can understand how the
Understand what you're
process
doing.
happens. Because the artists that I admire, I look forward to their time lapses, and I learn a lot from them. I, because I want other people to understand my process, I just Uh, Hi, Hanan. I just, these are my friends. I just have to say hi.
It's so nice of them to come.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I think we have covered a lot of art questions, art-based questions. I think mostly everything. So I'll just ask some, tidbits about you. So what's your favorite food?
Idli and sambar.
I was hoping biryani, but okay, idli and sambar is good.
Yeah, because I can eat idli and sambar for the rest of my life, but I cannot eat biryani for the rest of my life. No, it's definitely no, no, no. I think it's ghee roast from Arya's, something on that line. Yeah.
So, do you read books, and what kind of books do you read?
So I'm not into fictions. I don't like story books or anything because I feel like if I'm reading something, see, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a chill person. If I'm doing something, I need to get something out of it, not just pleasure.
Oh,
So
okay.
the books that I like to read is like psychology books. My favorite book is The Power of Subconscious by Joseph Murphy. I
Okay.
like to read about psychology. I like to read *Sapiens*. That's another favorite book of mine. I like to read Rumi and Gibran. I like to read how to improve stuff and stuff. That's mostly the kind of things I read. I'm not into like very romantic flashes.
Um, so I know you play ukulele, but I'll come to that. Before that, I'll ask you that that question that everybody wants to know. What did you talk to A.R. Rahman? I mean, that was like I like that. So, what
Hmm.
happened? How did
Uh,
it happen? And what's going on? That
yeah. So his daughter Khadija,
okay,
she just randomly texted one day. So I saw her message and I was like, someone's pranking me. Then I checked her profile. It was her. And then I was like, what
okay,
is happening? She said she likes my art and she wants me to do an art cover for their new
okay,
music album. So I
okay,
was like, I saw the message, I just started, and I'm like, Fatima, breathe. And then I replied back to her. She's like, let's get on a video call. And we just bonded. And
okay,
then, like, the coming days, we used to talk for hours and hours and hours, not as clients, as very good friends. And she is one person that always checks upon me. She's such a kind, beautiful, you know, she's a very beautiful person. I love her. So she showed my works to A. Rahman sir, and apparently he liked it. I don't know. Yeah. So he's like, let's get her to do this work.
okay.
And one day she's like, hey, dad wants to talk to you. I'm like, what? And I asked, like, audio or video? She's like, video. I'm like, no, I can't do it. So she said by around that day, by around afternoon, he's going to call. So I put on kurtas and I put a shawl and everything and I kajal and I was all dressed up and I waited the entire day for him to call. But he was busy. But he was busy that he couldn't call. And the next day also, I thought he would call, so I was all dressed up. And then the third day, I was like, maybe he's too busy, he wouldn't call. So I was in my normal clothes and pajamas and everything. And Khadija called me like, hey, come, dad is here. He wants to talk to you. I was like, oh God, it's happening. It's finally happening. So I set the camera here. I had my iPad and everything. We started talking. And my mom was hiding here. My brothers were hiding there. My sister was there. They were all like, "Enda parayunnu, enda parayunnu." And the moment I saw him, dude, I thought I had been in love. I thought that I've had butterflies in my tummy. I thought that I felt that rush in my chest, but I have not till I saw him. Khadija, if you're watching this, I'm not saying that I have a crush on your dad. I'm absolutely not saying that I adore him. But I had butterflies in my tummy.
Of course, it's A.R. Rahman. I mean, he's
I
everybody's.
know. I
We're
know.
all fans.
My whole childhood was about him, and I cannot begin to talk about that man's talent. I just can't. He's out of this world. Like he's like a Van Gogh for me. So he started talking, and most of the time I can't even catch up with what he's talking because I don't want to look like a really stupid person who is about to get a heart attack. So I was just laughing at even, I was, you try to impress someone, you have a crush on someone, you just laugh at anything that they say, even they're saying serious stuff. I was acting like a goof. But then we talked, I think, like 2 more times on video call. By then, I kind of like started becoming normal. And it's amazing to work with him, but he is so profound, he is so wise that you don't mostly understand what he's talking about. But it has been such an honor working with him. It was a beautiful project. It was sung by Khadija.
Yeah, I've
It was
seen
an
that.
amazing project. Yeah, it was a beautiful project, and the animation was done by Ghost Animation, and that was also really great. So I think that was a once in a lifetime thing because
Well, like,
I don't
won't be
personally.
once in a lifetime. It will be like a repeating event. You'll get more, work with him more and
I don't know. I don't know about that, but I felt when I got the opportunity, I was feeling like my art didn't reach a level that A.R. Rahman thinks that it's good. But then I feel like it was a milestone. I'm
yes,
not
it
a
is.
person who is a fan of celebrities or anything. I admire talent, yes, but I don't go all fangirl or anything. But this person just has my heart. Take it away. You have it.
Yeah, it's a, when you're talking about him and like I feel like, oh my God, such a fan movement. This is.
Because I was in this concert. I was trying to be at this concert that was happening. It was an A.R. Rahman live that was happening in Kochi. And I got the tickets, but it was not for the front seat. It was for like the back seat. And I was there. I was trying to like see him. I didn't even get to see him from a distance. I didn't get to see him. But then he was there in my phone screen. And I was like, I didn't want to come out as a crazy fan. I'm like, sir, you have no idea. I I tried to see you, but I couldn't. And he was very patient. He was smiling at me, and he's like, Fatima, it's not a coincidence. Like it was meant to be, and I'm really happy and stuff. I was like, oh God.
It's something, everybody wants to ask what happened and, that uh,
I
it's a
kept it
big
a
thing.
secret. I had to keep it a secret for about 2 months. I had to
Oh
keep
my
my
God.
mouth shut. Yeah, because I didn't want to jinx it. I didn't want to go around saying about it and then it wouldn't work. So, yeah, it was such a beautiful thing.
It
Yeah.
is. It is. So, can you do a very quick sketch or anything? Are you okay with it? I mean, I don't know how you can set your phone and just
That is
do
going to be.
anything, very simple, something, just for our viewers. Okay.
Let me see how I can. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm trying to set it. Okay. So I have tremors in my hands, and I
Okay.
hope that won't be too much of a problem.
Just do something very simple. Just showcase your talent online.
Wait. Uh, can you guys see? Wait 1 second.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I'm just gonna demonstrate how I start with a sketch of it's a face, it's an anatomy. So I start with a circle for the skull, and then I draw a center line. This is going to be the symmetrical, you know, separation for the
Outline.
face. Yeah. And then I'll just draw a shape of the face. Okay. So I think I'm going to create an African mixed race kid. You guys can see, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just demarcating the facial features. So the eyes are going to be here. Okay. Yeah. So Africans, they have pretty broad nose. Their noses are like this, and their lips are very thick. So I'm going to rework with the face shape. So they also have like longer foreheads. Do you guys want to see how I give the basic color? Because I can do that, I guess, if you are like very keen on knowing that. But I think it's going to take some like 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, sure, why not? And can you just show me your basic brush set? Somebody has asked, and Zena has asked
Yeah.
whether you can just
So
share your basic brush
this
set.
is the brush that I'm using right now. It's Jing Paint, and they have like some really good brush sets. So this is you can take a screenshot. These are like my brushes that I use. Okay. Now I'm just gonna like give some basic color to this so that you'll understand like what to do. So one thing about character design is that I'll show you how I tweak around with the character. So if I just change the position of the nose to like here, the face looks different. Here, face looks different. Also, the position of the eyes, the nose, everything, the face is going to look different, or the size of the nose, the character is going to look different. So, yeah, that's something with character design. Now I'm gonna show you how to just do basic coloring. So I'll just start with a brown tone to the face. And then I'm going to use a little darker color to shade the areas that is going to have the shadows. Here. Can you guys see?
Oh yes, it's beautiful.
Thank you. Also, to add a little more cuteness to the character, I just like I'm adding some blush, and I use a smudge tool a lot. Smudge. Yeah. So also another thing is do it in 2 layers. Your sketch has to be on one layer. Your colors has to be on another layer. Your hair has to be on another layer. Otherwise, it's going to like get mixed up. Yeah, and I'm going to give a black. People usually get anxiety seeing me draw because I draw really, really fast.
I think
Yeah.
they're more surprised than angry. Just in awe at how
Okay.
fast you're going.
Then after you're done with the shadows and everything, you just give the highlight maybe to the nose bridge, and maybe a little lighter color to your iris, depending on the eye color that she's having. I'm going to enhance the eyes a little bit. So yeah, also when you add some accessories or something to your character, it makes it more interesting. So I'm going to give the character. This is a girl, I think she's of the age like about 15. Guys, I would really like to answer your questions, but I'm not able to focus with both.
No, it's
So
okay. It's okay. I think we'll just enjoy you drawing.
yeah, I, I am. Uh, yeah. So okay. So if you are, I'm just going to merge all these layers. I just want to show you lighting. If you guys are up for it.
Okay. Yes,
So
we are.
I tried to do a live to do the same thing, a flower. Yeah, sure. I tried to do a live for the same thing yesterday, but then it was a disaster because I couldn't manage all the questions and everything. So I think today is so much better. Yeah. Someone asked for a flower, so I'm just gonna add a flower. Um,
Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah, there we go. Okay,
Wow.
so because there is a flower, there is going to be a little bit of a shadow here. So that comes from observation. You'll sort of learn that. So if I'm going to give lighting for this character, just going to move it here. I'm thinking of giving a rim lighting.
Okay.
So if I change my layer to add, I just take this color. I don't know if I'm like too fast. Can you? So there's a light from behind.
Oh,
So light from behind, and I'm going to just.
is that just much too?
ഇന്നു ഞാൻ meeting la. Yeah. So like I said, the girl's hair is sort of black. So where it hits, it's going to be a little orange-ish. And also sometimes there can be like two sources of lights. Sometimes a light can be coming from this side. If that's happening, I just yeah, something like that. The eye is a little tilted on purpose. Yeah, I don't go with symmetric features for my characters. I like it when they are like a little uh, unsymmetrical. Yeah, so then I add colors that do not exist to just enhance the, I don't know,
Oh,
whole
that's
thing. Yeah, like it's very subtle, you don't really notice it, but then, yeah, it just,
it's there. It, it's
yeah,
there.
it's there. It's there, it's there. And if I want to
And
give
you
her
actually did it in like what?
clothes,
So beautiful.
thank you. Yeah, like I can give her clothes, something like that, yeah. So, yeah, God, my hands are almost dead. Uh, if, yeah, something like that. So now I think you understood how you do it a little. Yeah, I
I'm,
see what you're talking about. The eye.
I'm like
I,
I'm like, oh my God, that really, really,
I think
really
it's better now.
amazing.
The eye. Yeah, I think it's better now. Yes. Okay. I'm going to flip this screen. Okay.
Awesome. I have no words. I'm like, oh my
Thank you.
God.
You're too kind. I like the way you interview. It's really nice.
It's one thing is that I don't draw that much, but I really enjoy seeing people's work and thing. But to actually see somebody do it, that's a different, different kind of high. I think it
So
makes me
I
think.
started making more live. So there were like hate campaigns and everything happening against me, like hate campaigns. So during that, people were saying that I can't really draw that,
Oh,
and I'm just gimmicking it. So I kind of took that as a challenge, and I started doing a lot of live.
I think you should do
So yeah,
more
thanks to
and
them.
more and more. Not what you do
I
right now.
should.
More, just more. More of videos, please.
Inshallah, yeah.
Yes. So, okay, and I think we are like coming to an end. This, like,
An end.
yeah. But I cannot end it without you singing a song for me. So, yes, please, let's have a ukulele song.
I have my ukulele here, in case you asked. I think we'll answer a few questions that uh,
Oh, yeah, actually,
they're
I have
asking
some very few questions.
because they're like so nice. They're saying such nice stuff, like very kind stuff.
Actually, we have some questions. I don't think we really have a time for
Thank you
a
so
Q
much.
and A session. That is the thing. But I'll just ask very few questions that were asked in our group. One is by the underscore army dot underscore art, and she's like, "How is your passion started, and what's your turning point?" So just briefly, can you? I know it's a big story, and I know everything about it. It's on YouTube, and I've seen all
I
your
think
TED
my passion has
talks.
always been there
Yes.
right from the start, right from being a child. So I don't know what is a turning point. I think every day was a kuti turning point for me, and it turned and turned and turned, and it became a big turn.
Next question is by Sanjana Balakrishnan. She asks, how important is consistency to you? How do you try to
Very
stay consistent?
important. So it's more like practicing an instrument. If you don't practice it consistently and efficiently, you're going to lose the touch. But only with consistency you grow, your style grows, you get better at it. So I think consistency is very important, very important. I'm just seeing a lot of questions. Fatima, can you suggest few books to learn character design? Uh, I can suggest you a few websites to learn character design, but I don't know any books. So the website is called Domestika. There's another one called Udemy. And I think you can learn a little from Patreon and follow the artist. That did you look into getting into NFT? No, I did not. I'm happy with the no education I have.
So one question is from Aparna. She asks, how do you store your paintings and doesn't Procreate run out of memory? It's a very silly
Yeah,
question,
it's
I think.
sort of yeah, it's I sort of delete my older works.
Oh, okay. You
Yeah,
don't
I'm
store
I'm
it in
kind
your
of
hard disk?
lazy to. Yeah, I think I'm too lazy to do that. I'm like,
Oh,
if I lose it, I can create them again. But don't take advice from me. I'm not the person to ask all that.
and ADLRT asks how to start an art career.
By practicing more and putting out your art, start networking, start flaunting your art, start being confident about it. Just flaunt it. Just throw it at people's faces. And have you
Uh,
got bankrupt getting art materials? Yes, I have, but I fortunately made double or triple the amount of money once I sell it.
yeah, that's how she slowly moved from canvas to digital, because it was
Yeah,
like,
because I was done going bankrupt. This I can pay EMI like 3,000 a month, and yeah, for a year. Took me a year to get this one.
oh,
People actually think I'm rich. I don't know for what reason, but I'm really not.
then Crystal Cool 123 asks how to develop your art style.
I don't have an art style. I, I'm. It's still changing every day. If you look through my works, you'll understand. It's still changing every day. So I myself, I'm trying to find a style. So I don't know how to tell you to
Okay.
get my art style. Yeah.
So
I'm really
that's,
surprised that about 48, 50 people, they consistently hear, like they're watching it for like 1 hour. I'm really surprised.
I, I think it's because, I mean, the way you talked, and the way you actually, your passion and how much you love your work, it's just there in your face and your expressions and your words and your eyes. And I think people can feel it online, and they can understand that you're being very genuine about whatever you're saying. And then you did the sketch, and it was like amazing. It's really
Thank you.
amazing.
I'm glad we did that. I'm glad because usually for time lapse, people can't see how you're picking the color
Yeah.
or anything. But I'm actually happy that I got to do it. Hi
Okay.
to a lot of people. Hi, Akshay Kumar. Hi.
Um, so, yeah, I think there are some questions, but
David.
it just scrolled up, and I couldn't catch some of these questions. But then, if anybody has any question, please type it in our comments. By the time she'll sing a song for us. So yes, let's. She's a really, really,
I
really.
think if you guys have a lot of questions, we can have another live.
Sure, yeah.
I'll definitely need an interviewer. Otherwise, I'm like, I'll be reading one question and I'm thinking an answer. Suddenly, I get another question and I'm thinking another answer. It was a mess yesterday. It was so much of a mess, and it's so much better today.
Yeah, I think it's a really good idea. I mean, we'll do a proper Q&A session with
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
you can ask questions, and then I can ask it to you, and then
Uh, I was
we'll have a
actually
proper.
thinking of making a wall art going live.
Oh, okay.
Like, yeah, so that they can see the entire process. And I actually wanted to invite like few people to do an art wall art with me somewhere. Yeah, but then hopefully soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I, I really enjoyed talking to you, and I think you were really
Same.
informative. I mean, to all the people who understand art, it was really informative, and for people like me, it was a revelation. And I was like, oh, so that's how you do it, like that. So it was really nice talking to you. Yeah,
Same.
yes,
Same.
song, yes, please.
Okay. Can you hear
What
me?
is everyone sees it, and then he's like, oh, she sings, she draws, she sings.
That's sweet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. This is What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. It's one of my favorite songs. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, The bright blessed day and the dark secret night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They really say that I love you. I hear babies crying and I watch them grow. They learn so much that I'll never know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, putting it up.
It was really, really good. You sing so well. Can you just sing ukulele? I mean, just the painting, ukulele painting.
Yeah, so it was like the whole thing, but I wanted to finger pick, so I peeled off
Oh,
this part. It's a waterfall. See, it's a waterfall, and there's like flowers and
oh.
trees and
Acrylic,
everything.
and then you did varnish over that.
Yeah. No, I did not do varnish. No, I did not. It's just the acrylic. Uh,
So I think we'll wind up the session, and
so you're saving this, right? Because I would like to
yeah, of course we're saving it, and then we'll
read.
upload it on YouTube after some
Oh,
editing. Okay.
I hope not.
I think we'll, as an artist and as a person, you are really a truly inspirational figure to a lot of
Thank
people.
you. Thank you.
Your journey has been such a inspiring journey, truly inspiring, and such talent you have. So we wish you all the
And
very best in life.
you have been a really, I don't know, sensible interviewer and not ask me like weird questions and everything. People are asking ഒരു live കൂടി ഉണ്ടാവോ Kochi art now it is. I think yeah, right?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
We'll get
I would love
questions
to.
from people, and then
And it's
we'll.
very comfortable having just കുറച്ച് set of people, അല്ലേ? Because I can see their questions and it's not overwhelming for me. So I think it's
Yes,
really nice. Yeah.
yes. So
Okay.
I think we'll meet again, and I think we'll have another session planned, and then we'll get questions, and then we'll set it. Okay. And
Yeah.
today it's been a wonderful day and a wonderful session, I think, and everybody enjoyed it. Even talking to, I don't know how the time went. It's like really fast. And,
It's 9:20. Oh, it's been 1.5 hours, അല്ലേ ഏകദേശം?
yes, yes,
Wow.
yes.
Okay. Hi guys.
Okay, so
So I
yeah,
think
thank you
we'll
so
wind
much.
up.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank you
much for
so much
coming.
for having me. I think you're a wonderful host. And good night to everyone who stayed very patiently throughout. I didn't even expect this much people to be there. So yeah,
Yeah, so
thank you.
thank you all. Thank you all for being with this interview and sharing your love and support to us and Fatima. And we wish you all the very best in all your future endeavors. And yes, you need to create your masterpiece. It's coming. Your masterpiece is coming. We know that. Okay. So yeah, bye bye. Tata, and
Bye
have a
guys.
good.
Have a good night. Sleep well.
Thank you.